Remember that saga between Jacob and Laban? Well, we're finally going to bring that saga to a conclusion today from Genesis chapter 31. Hey guys, and welcome back to God's Word Made Simple by Simple Servant Ministries. My name is Aaron Hawk, and if this is your first time visiting with us, I just want to say welcome and thank you for joining us today. God's Word Made Simple is an online discipleship ministry dedicated to taking God's Word and making it simple. We want to help you understand God's Word, apply it to your life, and grow in your relationship with the Lord. And by the way, if you appreciate this ministry and content, at some point make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn that bell notification to all so you don't miss any future videos. We would love to have you as part of our family. Alright guys, if you haven't caught the previous videos, make sure you go back at least to the beginning of chapter 31 and start there, but what I would really recommend is go back to the beginning of chapter 29. So I'll put another card there. Go back and watch those videos and get caught up on this whole saga, because the whole thing is coming to an end at the end of this chapter. Alright guys, so we're going to get started in chapter 31 verse 43. Then Laban replied to Jacob, "The daughters are my daughters, and the children are my children, and the flocks are my flocks, and all that you see is mine. But what can I do this day to these my daughters, or to their children whom they have borne?" Well, that's not exactly true. They may have originated from you, but you agreed to sell them to Jacob for a wage, or as a wage. So that's not exactly true, but that's sure how he sees it. Verse 44, "So now come, let us make a covenant, you and I, and let it be a witness between you and me." Because, the agreements they made before didn't mean anything. Then Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. Jacob said to his kinsmen, "Gather stones." So they took stones and made a heap, and they ate there by the heap. Now, this wasn't like a formal altar, it was literally just a heap. So the point is, and this was a very common practice in their culture, is they would set up a pillar, an altar. Sometimes when you read the term altar, it literally just means like a heap of stones. They would set that up just as the idea was that this heap of stones is a third-party witness. What it really was when you saw that pile of stones, you would remember, and when the other person saw that pile of stones, they would remember. It was really a memory device more than anything else, but it was a common practice then, so that's what they're doing here. All right, so verse 47. Now Laban called it Jagar-Sahadutha, if I'm saying that correctly. That's a tough one. But Jacob called it Galeed, and it just means the heap of witness. Verse 48, Laban said, "This heap is a witness between you and me this day." Therefore it was named Galeed and Mizpah, for he said, "May the Lord watch between you and me when we are absent one from another. If you mistreat my daughters, or if you take what..." He cares about his daughters all of a sudden? Maybe in some demented way he really did. I don't know. But anyway, "If you mistreat my daughters, or if you take..." I think he was just saving face. Let me get back on track. Sorry. "If you mistreat my daughters, or if you take wives beside my daughters, although no man is with us, see, God is witness between you and me." Oh, so now he's going to call upon the name of God. You see how this works. Laban said to Jacob, "Behold this heap, and behold this pillar which I have set between you and me. This heap is a witness," going to what I said a minute ago, "and the pillar is a witness, that I will not pass by this heap to you for harm, and you will not pass by this heap and this pillar to me for harm." So in other words, when one of the two of us swindler jerks gets angry, and we want to go for revenge and blood, we're going to have to pass by this to get to each other, and that's going to be the reminder we made a covenant together and we can't go kill each other, right? This was really self-preservation more than anything, and saving some face. But anyway, they made this covenant. Verse 53, "The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge between us." So Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered a sacrifice on the mountain and called his kinsmen to the meal. And they ate the meal and spent the night on the mountain. And a feast was typically part of a covenant. That's part of the reason that we have communion. I'm not going to derail there, but that's part of the reason that we have the bread and the wine or grape juice at communion, because the tradition of having a meal at a covenant, and the communion is like a reaffirmation of the covenant that we make with Christ. There's a lot more meaning to it than that, but that's all I'm getting derailed on today. Verse 53. Early in the morning, Laban arose and kissed his sons and his daughters and blessed them. Then Laban departed and returned to his place. So at long last, we have the end of this saga between Laban and Jacob, who contended with each other and tried to swindle each other constantly. Breathe a sigh of relief. That saga is over, and now we're going to start seeing, there's a moment coming up in the next chapter in verse 24 where we're going to really see the tables turn for Jacob. But we're going to see even in the first part of chapter 32 where God starts kind of turning these tables for Jacob, and we're going to start seeing Jacob change a bit for the better as time goes on. But you'll obviously have to come back to watch that video, so make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button for this video, hit subscribe, turn that bell notification to all so you don't miss any future videos. As always, guys, if you want to support this ministry, we would love to have your support. Two best ways to do that. One is to share this video on your social media platforms. Maybe even could become an ambassador, which simply means that you share all of our videos on all of your social media platforms. The other way, of course, we could definitely use your financial support if you feel so led, and there is a link down in the description if you choose to do that. Guys, thank you very much, and God bless.